OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Invoker.
Dire team pick.
Slug.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Many times they have tried to get themselves to a Valve Grand Final. Virtus Pro always coming up short until tonight. Will they be the ones to stop OG, who have a 100% win rate in every Grand Final of a Valve event they reach? Sind, is tonight the night for VP?
I think they're the favorites, personally at least. They looked amazing in today's matches. They looked amazing yesterday. OG have had a little bit of hiccups, but they made it here again. Like you said, you can't really... It's hard to go against the track record of OG, especially I think you even mentioned that they won every single one 3-1 as well.
Pretty much every single one.
That might have been
there actually hasn't been a Valve final which has not been 3-1 since we go back to TI3 when it went for the full best of 5, and that was also the only grand final which went the whole distance.
Yeah, well, OG definitely have the track record favoring them, but this is not going to be an easy final for them. I think VP looked very scary. I think they have a great draft for themselves in this game. They got their Magnus again, double melee core, great team fight lineup. Good roaming hero for Lil. They have the crowd, 6th player, maybe.
Maybe.
As
Playing
well.
from the bench, I'm sure everyone here is a lot behind VP, especially more than OG.
30 seconds to battle.
Like, many times it's OG who are the crowd favorites, but they'll be fighting against them, fighting against Virtus Pro, and as you said, it's the great team fight, it's the great initiation, it's the great aggression that can be tempered by Virtus Pro that comes out of their draft, and no surprise the panel is leaning towards them as well, but OG is their Terrorblade kind of play. You have S4 on one of his critical heroes, Jirax on the OP King, Anna, who has been an absolute wonder for anyone who's got an fantasy team, playing that mid lane. He's been having a superb tournament.
Yeah, OG are on a very comfortable lineup as well. I think this game is pretty difficult to say who's a favorite just based on draft alone. I think both teams have different strengths. Just when it comes to raw team fights, so much comes down to who gets the jump. If S4 gets to set up for the Monkey King, they have great team fight follow-up with him and Phoenix and the Invoker. On the other hand, any decent RP, VP, I feel like are just going to roll over whoever they catch in the RP. They have so much follow-up damage. They have Golem. As I mentioned, the 2 melee cores with high burst damage, both of them, both Slark and Ursa, kill quickly. And the Tusk can be very disruptive in these fights as well. Actually, I think a pretty interesting hero to have against a hero like Terrorblade. Not the fastest hero already, and then you add in Frozen Sigil. I can, of course, also try to catch him off guard with the shards. It's not that easy for Terrorblade as a carry to get out of this Shard compared to many other heroes that have some sort of mobility, like the Slark they have themselves, or an anti-mage with Blink, that type of hero. I like the Tusk here for VP, although it's not something we've seen from them too much this tournament so far.
We'll see if the synergy can work for it. For now, this aggro trial lane that Virtus Pro has been running has kept the Monkey King's attention down the bot lane, now forcing Jirax and Lil to kind of this little bit of a roaming maneuver. And that leaves a one-on-one matchup. No one against the Invoker, the mid-Ursa with PMS. And how is this Invoker really meant to do anything against the Ursa, especially when no one's getting this aggressive, continuously pushing into him, trying to keep the swipes up?
I'm pretty sure this lane matchup is unwinnable for Invoker early on. I can't see, like you said, what he's supposed to do. Just going to keep running at him, clapping him, and then hitting him with Fury Swipes. Probably going to need help from the Monkey King at some point here. Speaking of which, bottom lane. Jax, getting some damage out.
No one's been forced to run around the tree lines. Invoker actually didn't even level up Cold Snap because he avoided the point up in Quas. He went for a 1-Wex, 1-Exort at the start here for the Invoker.
Yeah, he needs the Alacrity to reliably last hit here. We'll see him using all of his mana more or less to get this Alacrity running.
Well, he's got 3 CS out of the 10-5 that the Ursa has managed to find so far. This is a very good laning phase so far for Virtus Pro. Even the Slark got a lot on the off lane. And up on the top lane, oh, Pasha, it's been rough for him, but he's still keeping neck and neck with S4 CS.
This is definitely not the greatest matchup you can have your Magnus in, but the early levels, just with Magic Stick, should be fine for Pasha. This mid lane, we might see go here. Lil Shard's connecting.
He gets pushed back in again. No one. He doesn't actually have the clap. TP support is forced out, so Jirax will move to the mid lane. But you can feel Virtus Pro looking for that first blood.
This mid matchup, I feel like it's one that was pioneered by the old DC. Weehaw used to play this mid Ursa against Invoker and this type of hero that is a bit slow in lane and take great advantage of it, and no one seems to have been inspired by that. This is an absolute trashing in the mid lane. You were praising Ana going into this thing. He's had a great tournament. He's going to need to come back in this lane. He's down 3-19 in CS 3 minutes in.
Yeah, this is not the dream for an Invoker. If he can get the hand of Midas, then maybe he can start playing catch-up. But for now, it's just avoid dying to no one. Don't escalate the problems in the mid lane, because if they do that and this Ursa gets momentum, Virtus Pro will be having a celebration drink tonight.
A celebratory.
A celebratory, yes, thank you, Cedric.
There it is. No
I rely on you.
It's my native language, not yours.
I only speak Australian. So they switched the lanes up Virtus Pro. They brought Ramses to the top. So Pasha actually moves himself down the bottom lane. He's had a really good start with the boots already and is looking to just encroach onto that energy booster. And then he can just hold back this bottom lane. 2 points up in the Shockwave. Very difficult for OG to push it out. And that's what we haven't seen really yet from Notel. He's already burnt the Metamorphosis once. And the damage to the Tier 1 tower is negligible.
S4, he wanted this top rune. This can get scary for him. Oh, they're not going to connect. The Firefly was running out, and if they catch him in charge, there is a play for the 2 supports there. But they are stacked up nicely by the sticky Napalm. So he will get both bounty runes here. And with his bottle, very nice for him, going to be using the Shrine as well. So fairly uncommon that we see Batrider get bottle in the off lane, but S4 is rocking it this game, probably expecting that he will be able to grab this bounty a couple times and play off that advantage.
Is he actually, this is one of the most determined catapults I've ever seen. S4's going to bring it underneath the tower. Bottom lane, Pasha, Notel and Fly, you've got the Hadouken from the creep. Actually helping them out. I don't know if Fly is purposely planning that, but Pasha remains low. He's still got the escape until Jirax in through the side. Doesn't actually have the stun, but the stun strike, the stun will be let out. Nada hits the Money Lord, and that'll help him come back a little bit, down to level 5. And the net worth will also be boosted up. He's now second to the net worth with that kill.
Yeah, this pretty much makes the mid lane even, more or less. Experience looks even. Yeah. He's totally back in the game. Great connection there from OG. Maybe a bit cocky from Pasha to go for that last hit, and he did have Skewer. Maybe he was trying to bait Fly in and then Skewer him back, but...
Oh, S4 so low. The leash is there. Ramses. A quick rebuttal on the safe lane. S4 was playing with fire, literally.
And Slark is going to get a very fast Midas this game, so... Good for Ana to come back into this game. I think it's going to be very important for OG that they land these Sunstrikes. Their kill potential in the early game is not that great in any of their lanes. Monkey King plus Bat Rider may have a play, but Slark is such a difficult opponent to bring down. Jerax will find Lil here. One prod from the Tusk.
He's trying to stop the aggressive ward placement of Lil, or at least see if Lil puts it down. Meanwhile, soaking up the experience in the mid lane, because there's no way Ana wants to come back here. He's trying to get as much farm out of the jungle as possible. You still want to have that 9-minute Midas, and he is on the way for that. Maybe a little bit earlier because of that kill.
And it's also very good for Monkey King to get a bit of experience. I feel like this hero has had varying success, and a lot of the time it comes down to whether you manage to get a timely level 6. The Wukong's command will be a very great ability against such a melee-heavy lineup like Virtus Pros with 4 melee cores.
Tusk is looking to engage up on top. If he could find a good good position for it, put down a rather defensive ward on the Radiant side of the river, just around the shrine. Not a common one to de-ward unless you're looking at the hill point.
S4 is being spotted here, I think. Actually, I can't talk about it. Now he is.
Yeah, that observe ward, if they cut down one of the trees, I would see a hell of a lot more.
So they will see him rotating toward mid. Not quite sure what No-Tail is searching for right now. Trying to get a D-ward, I suppose. Doesn't find anything.
No, they're still looking for the ward the Tuskar put down. Because they didn't actually see Lil retreat back out, so the only information they had to start with was watching from Jirax's perspective. And that was the Tuskar running next to the Ancients. That's why they put the sentry down, trying to get S4. Just that little bit of extra cash.
Ramses. Midas complete in 50 gold. A bit of pressure on Fly here in the bottom lane as well from Pasha. There will be a TP coming in again from Terrorblade, who went back to regen up.
His Metamorphosis is coming off cooldown, and Pasha is in a position where he can slow the attack, but thanks to the Observer Wall that's sitting behind the tower on the bottom, OG may feel inclined to again go for the exact same play they did previously. So you bring in the Monkey King from behind, you keep the harassment onto Pasha, and then just jump him for the stun into Sunstrike.
That would be a really good kill now with Metamorphosis ready as well. Should give them the tower.
Jirax, no. He's looking for it. The pounce up. There goes your Sunstrike. No, he didn't get the stun timing right. Tried to actually stun Pasha mid-skewer.
That was an excellent skewer. I'm not sure where he saw Jirax, but had a feeling that it was coming. Still OG. Get the bigger objective as it looks. They will be taking the tower. Pasha TPing in as early as possible, but... And flipping.
It's still a little late. With the catapult behind him, Sprite's flying in Jirax. He wants to go for another quick jump. It just creates space more than anything else and allows No-Tail to take the T1 tower. The VP, they look for their own tower. Double damage onto the Ursa, feeding into the T1 tower in mid. And Ana coming to defend. So is Jirax. Modification will scare off the Hungry Bear.
Ana has recovered very nicely in this game. It's very impressive when you get destroyed that hard early on. That's what a Sunstrike kill can do for you, especially when it's the first blood. Midas is already been used once. Still overall a fairly quiet early game. Only 2 kills, minute 9, but good amount of pressure still being applied. OG taking the first tower. As you said, Ursa doing whatever he can mid, doing some chip damage.
It's the rest of VP that are getting a lot of space. Ramses was taking the stacks while Solo was leeching the experience. It's pushing him up. They're trying to get the level 6s or just even items and levels on their supports. So Tuskar as well as Warlock become the priority, while Slark can just farm in the jungle at his level 8. Not to mention, he's also using his own Hand of Midas. So finding that farm. Middle lane, Lasso, out from S4. The jump is coming forward, a long pounce down, but no wonder will he have enough speed to get out of this one. The stun, it's a triple stun out from Jirax. The Sunstrike won't connect, now in comes Ramses. He was farming the jungle, he wants to find a kill. The snowball, who's Tuskar going for? The RP! Pasha, the perfect timing. Ana, deafening blast, trying to push back Ramses. He's able to actually do it. S4 has a double kill out of it. And they're not done yet, or are they? No one. Phase boots are on cooldown, so he's not going to run over the hill.
This frozen sigil is very important to consider. We don't really talk about the ability too much when we're talking Tusk, and it's a bit subtle in the fights, but it makes a very big difference when heroes group up like that. Was a good engage from OG, but this time around I do believe the Sunstrike missed.
It did.
On Ursa. He was turning around to fight, and could have maybe been a slight bit better on the execution there. They don't want a Sunstrike immediately when they go in because they're expecting the Enrage to come off, so well played by Ana to hold it for then.
With both teams, so it ended up being an even trade. Like OG got 331 gold and Virtus Pro got 322 gold. So it was so damn close and meme-filled. Virtus Pro, they found the Observer Ward. OG really wanted to have this for a fight. T-Rex just... Yes, he hit the deny. Okay, no money for you.
Good way to be annoying.
OG's getting ready to fight up on top lane. Fly does have that Supernova available. No-Tail's got Metamorphosis up. T-Rex still shy of his level 6, but S4. No Blink Dagger yet, but you know what he wants. Firefly up, come over the tree lines, into Lil's blind spot, and then just lasso him back. The Sunstrike, it will connect. So even though Ana is farming up in the mid lane and holding the pressure back, he still is able to get this free gold. And that's one of the big reasons why Ana gets so many points in these series, is because OG help him all the way, especially with heroes like this Invoker. Now you take the tier 1 tower, and the money starts rolling in. And VP, where's that aggression now come? You didn't go for the early Vlads on the Ursa. Does he actually get... Because he went for the Blink Dagger. Do you still think about Roshan before you go for a fight with a Blink Dagger?
Roche is a bit tricky right now. You're playing against the Monkey King and the Bat Rider. They have really good vision around that area, so it's not too easy for VP. Surprising to me, honestly, here that Lil was standing next to that tower before they even went on him. I was going to say they probably will just give up this tower because they don't have RP, and OG were already grouped up and in a very nice position, but...
Here comes the
gank.
Yep. Ana is going to be the one caught out. The Observer was down. They see him clearly. They even drop the rock. Hatred galore for the Invoker.
That's a mid tower as well. Totally worth dropping the rock for such a big kill. No Metamorphosis, no Invoker.
And no fortification to delay things either.
Yeah.
So 4-man rotation for this, plus rock. Meanwhile, OG is still trying to get everything they need to fight. The phase boots are coming up for T-Rex, but more importantly, he's getting the space in the bottom lane to get the Wukong's command up. And that'll make VP a little bit more cautious about the fights. With the Blink Dagger on S4 and Wukong command, VP can get easily zoned when they don't have that RP or that Warlock Golem to drop down and do the counter control on the fight.
The Magnus Blink Dagger is coming up very soon though, so both RP and Skewer will be nice tools for them. And as far as the game is going right now, it looks very even on the graphs. And I think if VP knew that, they would be fairly happy with that. They're starting to gonna be able to build up a lot of passive farm now that Empower is reaching high levels. It's currently level 3. Benefits Mag, Slark, and Ursa tremendously throughout the entire game. And OG will probably keep up the farming pace mainly by virtue of using this conjure image of the Terrorblade. Of course, a lot of the time with Terrorblade, you get a lot of gold without getting too much experience. Your illusions are the only ones pushing out.
S4 is on the hunt. He just pinged down saying, I'm fairly certain there is an observer here. They don't have any, they don't have any detection. Both the supports with no sentry wards, so they can't get rid of the obs ward, which is why VP understands this is not a fight they want to take. So they let the tier 1 tower fall. That's the last remaining tier 1 tower of Virtus Pro.
And they smoke up. This is the Magnus Blink reveal. Golem is on cooldown, however. But I feel like we have to mention the discrepancy in experience between the cores right now. Slark is level 12 to the level just 9 of Terrorblade. This is the Midas coming into play. It's the nature of the heroes coming into play. So the gold graph is looking okay, but this experience will keep flowing the way of VP, and all of these passive stats they're getting from leveling up their heroes will play a big role. Keep in mind, OG's lineup is not the greatest at all against Slark in general. So Ramses can have one of these games that he takes over later on, and OG might need to itemize to address this Slark. Something along the lines of a Hex or maybe some serious burst.
Is there a way they can itemize to just add pressure before the Slark hits that late game? If he's going to become unmanageable later on, does this then become one of those timing pushes around the 30-minute mark where OG look to go high ground?
I find it difficult to imagine.
Blink Lasso. Talk about the Slark, drag it back in. Wukong command as well as Sunstrike. Ramses will pounce down. He goes into the Shadow Dance, but S4 keeps right on top of him thanks to the Haste Rune. A very, very fast bat.
Monkey King is so nice against Slark because you can't precast the Dark Pact. You don't get to react because the stun comes out of the trees. And a big pick here for OG. For now, this is going to work, so very nice kill for them, buying more time. It's going to be difficult for OG to end this game early before Slark gets strong. I think they're going to have to address him at some point. That kill definitely helps slowing him down. But later will be a very strong hero.
This Observer Ward sees a lot. Lil and Pasha are running around it. Pasha, like he's going to cast the Empower from outside the pit. Into the pit? Nah, here comes the Force Spirit. They really want to see Illusion as well, as far as the Firefly up. They see no one low, but remember, there is no lasso. So without that, you're not really going to have much to work with. So they just have to play the distance. Keep in mind, too, Jirax's position. No Wukong command for him either. Another reason why VP probably feel very confident coming in here. They've got their big ultis up.
The Fury Swipe stacks expired on Roshan, so no one lost interest in trying for this. He isn't ever going to find a double damage, and he has a bottle, so they have plenty of time to save this up for a good moment, either to Roche or find a team fight. The line is being drawn here by Fly that he thinks... I'm actually not sure what to make of this line.
Is that a push the mid lane?
Push the mid lane, it might be, but no one's doing it, so... Or this is where the mid lane is.
Sounds like a nursery rhyme.
Didn't really see the movement out of them that line would represent, but now he's going to do it himself. Maybe that was the whole point. I will take care of mid. I got this area. Go farm elsewhere.
VP smoked.
Yep.
Oh, Warlock.
Monkey King.
One of these trees is stacked on the other. One of these trees just doesn't fit in. And Ursa, he triggered his double damage and he really wanted to go in for Roshan. The Terrorblade Illusions just coming to the front lines. S4 still with that Firefly triggered.
They saw
really
Jerax.
Good
they saw Jerax.
And they pull him back in. The lasso is out. Fly goes into the Nova. Will the egg pop? Ramses tries to slow him down. The stun from Jerax will do the work. She get a 5-man stun. No! They kill him off just in time. Wukong command controlling on the back when Jerax gets mopped up by Ramses. No more command. No tail. He's got Sunder available. The Ice Wall from Ana is controlling no one, but here goes your RP. It catches out the Terrorblade. He will fall. No one. Not a healthy man. S4 still causing real problems at last attack, allowing Magnus. Pasha gets back to base in the back of his TP, and Ramses will retreat. So a 3-for-3 trade-off. Both these teams going hammer and tongs and coming out even.
Great engage from both of them. They ping out the Monkey King. They saw him jumping onto the tree. Lil pings him. They blink skewer him with Mag. So they stun him by breaking the tree first and then skewer him down. Kill him. He did get Wukong's command out, but got killed off pretty quickly after. But because OG got the counter engage at the same time with the Bat Rider, it ended up being an even fight. If OG aren't quick to pounce there, they would have probably just lost the Roche on Monkey King being dead and VP having some decent vision. So very close once again.
Let's have a quick look at that movement. So there it is, the blink, the skewer, the stun. The Warlock couldn't get his ulti off either. S4 has been right on the money.
The Supernova was so close, and that would have been a big win for OG this fight.
Really thought that stun was going to last a little bit longer from Jirax. But it wasn't long enough. But it
so
still
much
seemed...
patience from Pasha here.
Yep.
Great play all around from everyone. That was a very good fight. No one won. Not the player. Nobody won.
That's my line.
Well, in a way, maybe slight victory for VP. As far as economy, it didn't really change the gold graph too much, but No Tail died and Slark survived. And Slark, I believe, got one of the kills, did he? He got 2 of the kills, actually. He killed both Fly and Jerax, so good money flowing in for him.
But you're still also having the main initiator of OG not being controlled. Like S4 is 4-1-3 on this Bat Rider, Blink Dagger, 4-staff up, and he's kind of the man which is controlling such a heavy amount of this fight. What happens when he's able to pick up a Shiva's Guard? What happens when he's able to control a VP and it becomes the saving of Lil where we turn our attention to as opposed to the aggressive roll forward which we got from Lil in the last fight?
Yeah, they will probably have to consider Lincolns later on. I don't think it's necessary just yet. Of course, Ursa is a very special case. He has a built-in way of dealing with the Bat Rider lasso in his Aghanim's that he is working on right now. Great choice in this game. It's good against the entirety of OG's lineup, really.
But Ramses will need the Lincoln Sphere still.
More than likely,
if he can't get the timing, it's like that insurance thing.
The alternative for him is going BKB, and then you can probably survive if you click it fast. I don't think OG have enough burst through BKB, not yet anyway, to kill him off.
Yeah.
Terrorblade will deal substantial amounts of damage later, but as you mentioned, there's always the trump card in Tusk that could turn things around. Jerax is up to some mischief bottom. He actually gets spotted here again by Lil. Is pinged out, so they know where the Monkey King is, and this could prompt them to go for a play. Blink Dagger RP is available once again on Magnus. But VP don't have to make plays.
They're all grouped up in the mid.
Farm.
VP want to actually still look towards Roshan. Like, we can't forget that was the other big advantage OG had from around the fight. It's the fact that Virtus Pro with an Ursa, we're 20 minutes in and they still haven't claimed their first Roshan. the builder that was coming in from Ursa anyway kind of understood this. Hence he's gone Blink, Basher, and now onto Aghanim Scepter. It's not Flash, it's not the Aura play we've seen before. RP up on top, catching out Ana. No one will jump in, but Ana invis. Who brought the detection? The sentry was too far away. Ana makes a break for the tree lines. Now the dust will go. Rolling boulder forward. Ana creates a little bit of space with Tornado, but nowhere near enough. 50 seconds on the sideline, but you commit your RP, you commit all 5 heroes to go for that fight. But without the Invoker, Roshan becomes a very heavy topic.
That was such an awkward kill. He got RP'd, just stood invis in the whole RP, started walking around, and then finally the dust actually barely clipped him there. I think Solo wasn't too far away from missing that. They got the kill. Nice understanding from VP that they could connect. Good communication there.
Note that VP didn't go straight in for Roshan. Juros was expecting it. That's the reason why he moved so early. He could camouflage himself, because one of these trees, again, doesn't fit in.
It's not easy for VP to go for Roche, even though they kill Invoker. There's still the threat of getting jumped by Batrider. If they just pick off anyone, the fight is kind of, or the Roche attempt is over, and they could just lose key heroes down there. No RP, out of mana on Ursa. They decide it's too difficult, and I'm with them on that. Actually, No-Tail is showing the real hero top. He's going to get jumped by Ramses right now.
Yeah, he wants to go on him. No-Tail, the damage should be enough. He's got Sunder available. Let's go, put the rock. Okay, again, Solo. Very, very happy to use that rock at a moment's notice.
He was very out of position. That was unusual for No-Tail to be in this kind of position. Generally just put the illusions to push there and go in the jungle with your hero, but maybe he's starting to feel like he's feeling the pressure. There isn't that many safe areas on the map right now. Nice lasso.
Right, lasso pulling back in. The Sunstrike's going to hit the timing, and with the Wukong's command, there's no help coming to Solo. They can get rid of that Observer Ward as well, thanks to the sentry that's on the deck. Actually, no, the sentry is just out of range. So the Observer Ward was placed. Flame Break doesn't push them out of the pit. Aegis Immortal into the hands of no one. With the secondary sentry now down by Fly, they do get rid of the Obs. But Roshan, it goes to Virtus Pro. It took 22 minutes to do it.
If OG commit that much to killing the Warlock who doesn't have Golem, they can't contest anymore. I think the Wukong's command was kind of wasted. Just the lasso into Sunstrike should be more than enough. Maybe they were expecting that VP would try to help their Warlock, but wisely just stay in the pit, claim the big objective, and Solo is more than happy to die for the cause there.
That's just
VP
what Solo
built more
always
advantage.
does.
This game is looking good for them right now. Still a close one though. But you would imagine going a bit later in with this Aghanim's coming up for Ursa momentarily, and BKBs will be coming out later, and Lincoln's. OG's teamfight execution gets harder and harder, whereas VP, they have this exceptional AoE BKB piercing ability and massive AoE damage, actually 2 BKB piercing ultimates, whereas they only really have the Batrider ulti on OG, and that's single target.
Yep.
Well, the explosion of Supernova, but not reliable, let's put it that way.
Unless Fly can get the perfect position on a hill like that, that's not going to be your dream. And VP smoking up, they're trying to make the most out of all these ultimates we've just been listing. Look for the opening. It's the Invoker.
He blinked the NATO! Beautiful by no one. Wow, that was perfect out of him.
Spectacular Dota, and now Virtus Pro with no Invoker again on the field. Ana, 4-4. It was the Invoker who got pressured early on, played a great catch-up game, and now is becoming the primary target for Virtus Pro. But they're not forcing the issue too heavily. It's back to the lanes. It's back to pushing them back out. They understand if they start losing tier 2, tier 3 towns and one fight just goes slightly awry, and with no buybacks, that Terrorblade could do a lot of damage very quickly.
Absolutely.
Not to mention, this is the OG specialty. You get the illusions out, you keep the side lanes pressured. You keep Virtus Pro always wondering if they're going to get the better trade-off. And when those big AoE ultis are blowing, going up high ground when you're considering that you have to trade tier 2 for tier 3 or something along these lines, it still makes you think twice.
Ramses is so far ahead though.
Yeah, he's
it's
14k.
He is 3 levels ahead of the highest level in OG. Okay, it's going to be too soon here with Ana getting 17. But
He just got his BKB as well.
Yep.
Like, it's coming on the courier.
That's the item. It's going to be an issue. He could still go for the Lincolns in combination with it. And then suddenly OG are extremely limited in how they can control this Slark. We were talking about how it was going to be a problem. I don't think they've managed to shut him down nearly enough in order to prevent him from getting this game. But then again, how would they? It's just a beautiful pick from BP in this game. It was their 5th pick, right?
It was.
Yeah. Very nice position here.
No one jumps in, goes in S4, quick 4-staff. Ana looking for a tornado hit. He's not going to find anything. No one sees it coming from a mile away.
remember, no one can break Tornado as well with Axe if he wants to. I believe that should work.
S4, he's looking at Lil. He can't look at no one. He knows he can't look at no one. But the Force Staff's still on cooldown for another 2 seconds.
Middle tower is under
So we're
attack.
sticking Napalm. Bloody Sigil, Ramses, he'll go in. The Sunray's out. Will it be enough life to regenerate up S4? No,
Oh, nice
He's
catch.
trapped in the shards, locked in the icy cone of death with Solo dropping the rock. Virtus Pro, they bring down 2. Anna again with no buyback. Will fall. Agency Mortal is also up for the Ursa. He's got this in another 2 minutes.
Wow, that was excellent play.
They're going to come in. They're coming into the OG home.
Yeah, RP is still online and they have the Aegis. This was actually not that big of a commitment from them.
Yep.
All they used was Slog's BKB.
And the rock.
And the rocks, that is true.
No one was looking for an opening, but OG, they're back in so far. They're just trying to use the Fire Spirits to slow down the attack with the burn of the Sunray. They'll pull the creep wave down to the tier 4 towers. But again, you still don't have the Invoker. The jump in from Jirax, a 3-man stun. Not committing the Wukong's command. They just try and put the Reflect onto Pasha. Now S4 is up.
Metamorphosis was used as well here. If OG gets
The jump
nothing.
with Al Lasso. They found Solo. Again, it seems to be the consolation prize, the box of chocolates for coming and appearing in game 1. Virtus Pro still get what they want. The tier 3 tower, which now opens up the shrines outside.
By the way, we didn't get to touch so much on this. The skill build of Solo in this game is very unusual. I think he was on level 5, he had 0-2-3, I want to say. I seem to remember that. So didn't go for the bonds early on, but prioritized upheaval. And I think it's his way of trying to deal with this Terrorblade's movements in the fight. It's the hero, if it can't just take these steps forward, it becomes very difficult for these illusions to deal damage. It's a trade-off though, right? You can also say, why don't you just max Fatal Bonds and kill them all? But it's worth highlighting that this is something different and some, I want to say, creative thinking, because this is an old build that almost never gets used anymore by Warlock. But Solo is making the decision in this game that it was more interesting. Now he's about to max out all 3 skills.
Oh, Slug so close. They don't have detection.
Oh, he knows
Anna
it, though.
goes
He knows
in.
it.
His detection is coming as the dust on Tusk. It'll actually connect on the Monkey King of all. Warlock will trick his as well, but Anna quickly ghosting away on the top lane. They want to fight this, however. Both dusts are down. Monkey King puts the Observer Ward down as well, so they get good vision behind and in front. These 2 obs see so much of Virtus Pro, but still OG do not feel confident enough to take this. So they BT Invoker down to the bottom lane, and they start the split push.
Yeah, VP might as well wait as well. They have another BKB coming out. This is a full BKB for the Ursa of no one. So racking up the advantages. For OG to win a fight now, they need some absolutely spectacular combination of spells and some kiting as well, more than likely. When those BKBs are up, I think the fight's just a no-go. No-Tail is not strong enough yet to get through these 2 cores. Half because of his farm, half because of his levels. He's level 14. Slug's level 21.
So low on levels. Even Anna, like Anna's at 18. He's trying to play that game to get up, and he's the closest one to the Slug. And you can see also Anna trying to make up for what isn't there from the other heroes. So S4's building into a Yule Scepter. He's trying to have something else that can potentially trigger a later Linken's or be more control in the fight, which means the maneuverability is now being picked up by Anna. He needs to get the Shiva's Guard to survive,
Ramses
as well as provide the slow.
Eyeing him here. This is bad. There's a sentry next to him as well.
Anna, he doesn't know. And now, well, can he actually have enough space? The Tornado's going to miss, and Anna invis the dust as well. Centering Anna, movement speed. He doesn't have enough to get away, even with a deafening blast. This time he will have buyback. But while this was going on up on top lane, No-Tail is approaching the tier 3 tower. But will VP care? They still have their big ultis up, Rock and RP.
They need to be a bit cautious. They don't have a TP on Warlock, so he can't be the one going back to defend. Instead, they will, so far, not send anyone back. Who has TP? Sarg doesn't use it. Cooldown on Tusk, cooldown on Mag. But at the same time, OG are cautious. They don't see heroes. Now they will see them on the Observer Ward. More than likely, S4 will just TP out of this one. Maybe he'll hang around.
So close.
Oh, he got spotted by no one.
Oh, get out there, S4. The punch will be right in position, and no one will find the kill on S4.
How did he find him? Do you have a replay of that? Like, what?
Echo location?
They didn't scan, right? They didn't scan. They don't have vision, at least as far as I can tell. Maybe there was a ward that expired. No one with.
There was no. It was the Radiant Observer Ward that was up there that got taken down.
That was an
I didn't see a dire ward.
read if he just found him there. He might have just guessed based on knowing how No-Till plays, or sorry, S4 plays this Batrider, but that was really impressive. Maybe I missed something there. I don't know. That seemed unreal. So JRX is closing in on Basher. I like to say this is one of the most broken items in the game on any hero. Basher on Monkey King is absurd, but he did go for Crest first, really respecting the physical damage output of VP and taking more of a defensive route, more likely buying it more for the defensive purposes than the offensive ones. And, well, he's keeping this farm going. JRX has had a pretty good game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Fly is also going to get a little bit of extra farm and levels. He's picked up a hand of Midas. But Virtus Pro, they understand the position they're in this. They continue to bring down the outer towers.
Roche is up.
OG do not want to fight this. And yeah, by taking out the tier 1 and tier 2 tower on top, and you know they'll turn their attention to the shrine, Roshan could be the next simple target. Ramses wants to give them a ticket to go in. And that ticket is kind of punched if he could find someone from OG out of position. Almost like the Batrider. S4 was 4-staffing and blinking, looking for the kill on Pasha.
He still needs to be careful here. One misstep and it could go really wrong. Oh, something good happened for VP.
I think they scouted the smoke.
Yeah.
That's the Observe Ward that's sitting inside the base, and OG came out. They're scouting out. Okay, it's just a Sunstrike to try and chip down the Ursa. Mr. BKB Pasha.
On it with a tornado.
Oh, nice with the EMP burn. That will actually burn. No one's out of range, and so was Ramses.
Gonna take the shrine here more than likely.
Those big 2 control abilities. And I'll have to wait a little bit longer. S4 still hunting for a kill as well. 5 flying up, can't find anything. So there goes your shrine. And they could just slip themselves into Roshan now. 5 flies off cooldown in 20 seconds time. That's a long time for OG not to have the vision. But VP aren't going directly in for Roshan. They're waiting it up a little bit. And you know OG's looking for it. So we'll have a quick look at what happened up on top.
Okay.
He just saw him from the other side?
Did he catch a glimpse of him? I actually didn't even see it in the replay.
We looked over too late.
Yeah. Saw it a bit too late, but regardless, great catch there from no one. Whether it was quick reactions or just a good guess, it's a great play no matter what.
So if you're OG now, is it just a vision advantage around Roshan that you try and play and counter Roshan from VP?
I don't think you can give them this Roshan you can't give VP this one. Generally, Fly is very good at leading his team, or whoever is doing the primary in-game shot calling for OG puts a lot of emphasis on not giving Roshan away when they have a good vision lineup. Last Roshan, they had to concede. I think it was the right choice at the time, but if they just let VP take this Roche for free, they kind of just open their mid-barracks up.
Well, VP is currently waiting. They're not getting aggressive just yet, because they just got a fresh item on the Slark, a full Skadi. It's now done for him, and with the Shadow Blade Pasha, they'll try and slip a little bit further forward. Strike damage getting split between Lil as well as No One. They see a target as Ramses. He'll pounce himself away. He's just trying to poke the beast. S4 gets the blink line slow, but no one breaks free. The tornado with the Wukong's command. There's a huge amount of combinations. Lil will fall quickly. Ursa has to peek. I mean, Pasha! A whole enchilada. The Sun from Fly. He'll create space with the Firefly. It's actually nowhere enough. And a Deafening Blast tries to create more space. Fly. Yes, Icarus dive out. Anna's on the run, but you know who's coming. It's the Slark under the Orbs and Sentry. Triple kill for No One, but they want everything. They want Ada. Difficult to catch him though when you've got cold feet from the ice wall.
It's a 4-man RP from Pasha. Great patience from him. Actually really like this engage from S4, as weird as it may sound. He jumped on the Ursa, and the reasoning here is OG want to force the fight to break out, and sure, the Ursa can break out of it with the Enrage, but then it's used at least. And they did get a pretty good setup for their fight. The Phoenix came in nicely. They got a good Wukong's command out. If it wasn't for this incredible RP from VP, this could have been a great fight for OG. And very rarely would you say it's a good play to just use Lasso on the Ursa like that, but I actually liked it. Didn't work though, and that is going to be a Roshan again for Virtus Pro. This time they put it on the Slark instead of the Ursa. I'm guessing it's the Aghanim's difference this time that makes them make this decision.
They believe the Ursa is going to be the immortal one with the Aghanim Scepter. And let's Ramses be a little bit more aggressive.
So have a look at this. He lassos. I don't know if it was a misclick. It might have been. Great Golem here. 4 heroes done. Great bonds. And now here we go. Pasha has already stepped to the side and gets in a massive RP here.
You couldn't have asked for anything better. Fly actually ended up stunning one person with his Nova, and that was Solo. He did so much work to try and keep Anna alive. sacrificing himself. So maybe that's the only upside. Is the
It's like,
fact
oh god, I only hit 4. Oh. No-Tail's like, damn, he hit 4. Well, there's 2 ways of looking at it.
Damn.
Pasha might be a bit disappointed because it was possible he could have survived that fight, but you know, you did well, Pasha. I think that's good enough for your team for now.
You can take what you can get when you're about 13,000 net worth in front and encroaching on 20k experience advantage for Virtus Pro. Like, you're very happy with your situation, and you're coming straight back into the fight. Golems are cooldown in 28 seconds time. RP's already back up again, and Pasha, he's looking for Ana. Where are these obs and sentries? Where is this detection? Because Ramses will slip in under the cover of his Silver Edge, looking for the opportunity. Now, they do not see him, OG. There's no sentry ward in the front line. S4 comes in. Now the sentry's there. Tornado kicks up the slot. The Dark Pact will actually put him back down pretty quickly. Gets him away from the EMP. Not to mention the reflection.
He's going to heal up instantly, though. He's ready to go again. VP?
They're worried about bottom lane. This is that trade-off, like what I was talking about. Like, OG will always make you think, am I actually not getting the best out of this? So they have to send no one to the bottom lane to defend. Buy space and time for OG, and they need that because Virtus Pro are very much in the driving seat.
This will be a very quick push out from no one, and then he's going to reconnect with his team. Just pushing 2 waves and heading back.
He just ghost feeded on the Magna, so he knew it. Pasha blinks forward, gets the RP off with a rolling bottle forward that actually punch kick him away. Will it be enough with Invoker? He does go down, 81 seconds on the sideline. He committed both the RP as well as the Golem, however.
Wait, what happened?
It looked like a Force Staff combining with the Walrus Punch.
I thought Tusk had Axe there.
Instantly, I thought the same thing. The synergy was right on the money for the Aghanim Center, but he does not have it.
That looked pretty funny. It must have been a Force Staff at the exact same moment.
It was.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I think it was S4 who was in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
he was the one that was pushing him.
Trying to save him there.
Monkey King run. They know. They know.
No.
The skewer. He'll get the stun. 4 seconds. He was trying to hide as a tree.
Level 25 for Ramses.
That's so big. Solo's having troubles here in the mid lane, however. The burn is there, so Solo will fall. 2 supports down from either side, both without buybacks available. But you know Slark wants to come in. Sentry Wars, they're all over the place. And he actually used the Abyssal Blade on a fake No-Tail. No one, maybe not the greatest thing to initiate on. Slark still trying to run away. They shard to block the ramp area, but a quick range tracks for Virtus Pro.
He abyssaled a Conjure image. That was not a Manta-style illusion, so just a bad read for him. But fortunately for him, he made No-Tail use Metamorphosis, so I guess it was a good play. That worked out very well for no one here. They're going to Shrine up. They know meta is on cooldown, and I think this is good enough for VP to consider high ground. They will take bottom tier 2 first. Ramses is alone here. Obviously, No-Tail and the rest of OG have no idea about this, just trying to scout out with the illusions.
Okay, that's an easy tier 2.
Yeah.
What else are they trying to build towards? The Slark is going towards the Butterfly at the moment. Waiting to see Fly's item of choice. He's got 2,400 gold on this Phoenix. Maybe just buyback is still worth saving for. Ana is desperately trying to scrap together the cash to pick up his Octarine. And S4 hasn't bought a new item in probably the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, when did he get the Yules?
I'm fairly certain it was around like 25.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right, here they come, Virtus Pro. Observer Ward's there. Look at Batrider. Quick jump away. He's like, I know they can see me. I know they can see me. And a quick Abyssal Blade means he's gone, so send the illusions in.
This is still not clear-cut for VP. It's not that easy.
They need to basically explode someone with that Abyssal Blade at the very, very beginning, but doing that when you've got, like, you're jumping into the OG base, potentially them being dragged towards the tier 4 towers, this is the fight that VP don't want to take. They don't want to have to rely on the huge RP of Pasha to get them out of jail, like what could have happened in that mid-fight.
Yeah, their Aegis is also expiring, so they didn't get as much value out of this as they had maybe hoped, but it's good enough. They can keep farming. VP, if they have a good read on this game, should know that they are gaining massively. They can just take a look at the levels that they have access to, and they should be figuring out, okay, we're probably doing good. Maybe a bit misleading with the Midas and the XP talent on Tusk, but still.
S4's hunting.
OG want to go.
Gets the stun out. They need to see Pasha the RP. It whips. He doesn't find the target. Tornado will fly through. The rock will drop. This will keep the rest of OG out. But T-Rex into the Wukong's command, looking to fight harder. Rams in the cover of the BKB. They focus on the Monkey King, removing the command from the field. The Nova, it should be able to connect, but not in time to save Anna, or not in time to save Fly. Yes, it will. 4-man stun. The lasso is there. Will it be enough? No tell. The damage is a Terrorblade. He's getting enough of it out, actually. The support is there. He'll sunder up no one, but he's lost his Metamorphosis. The damage, it doesn't, or does it? It does exist when Pasha skewers forward. The bash is there from no one, however, catching S4 down. As no one blinks and runs, Solo is left behind, no tail. He does have that Metamorphosis, and chasing after Solo needs a little bit more damage. One more hit will do it, and this will be a 4-for-3 trade-off, technically in favor of OG.
The moment that RP missed, you could tell OG were all in on this fight. That's the best thing they can hope for. In addition, VP were kind of thinking about destroying the Supernova, I think, and then they're like, okay, we can kill the Invoker instead. And maybe in this situation, it would have been better to just destroy the egg to make sure this AoE stun doesn't come out. It's kind of those damn it if you do, damn it if you don't moments where if you get the egg, you know Invoker has a lot of spells left and can turn around and do a lot on you, but at the same time, Fly did so much that fight by getting out of the Supernova. So
he bought time for the Terrorblade.
Absolutely.
And
Big fight for OG.
It actually meant so much in the experience. You wouldn't have thought it was that close, but...
We're going to see it here. Complete whiff on RP. Almost got both, but ended up getting none.
And they even knew exactly where Jirax was. Jumps in, gets the perfect command off, and Anna goes in pretty deep on this.
Have a look at this. Ramsey's perfect choice. You need to kill the Monkey King first. Now I think he hit the egg once, and then was like, oh, there's an Invoker, and now 1 health on the egg. Just got it off. If that Supernova breaks, the game's probably actually over. Like, they would have cleaned up this fight 5-0.
Yep, because
while missing an RP.
Fly actually brought so much regeneration back to the field. Like, it wasn't even just the fact that No-Tail was able to get the Sunder off. He did a lot of damage, plus having the regen, plus the fresh sprites. A lot of things to control. And it actually gave him a 3k gold swing in favor of OG, and a roughly 6k experience swing.
And a great fight for No-Tail, who got a lot of money out of that.
He's now level 22.
Got a full Scotty.
Full Scotty, has the Crystallis, looking in towards a Bloodthorn. They may have just fed the beast that is OG.
It's going to take more than this, though.
Definitely.
Remember that this was a completely whiffed RP. Even a 2-hero RP from Pasha right now is a very big deal. Now, big pickup here for Fly. He's going to get the Lincoln Sphere to try to counter out, I would imagine, mainly the Abyssal of the Ursa.
I'm wondering if he actually gives that over to Anna, because Anna's been more of that frontliner saying, VP, please kill me, so then No-Tail gets more space to work as the Terrorblade.
It's definitely important that Anna stays alive. You can't just sacrifice him at the start of the fight and expect to win it.
The 5-man smoking up. Ramses is the man revealing himself in mid. The scan is out from the Radiant side. They find no one. But the jump up from Jirax. He's on the hill. The Sunstriker should be able to connect, but no one protected by the BKB. The RP, it only connected over on Anna, who got pushed into the trees into relative safety. Nova is down. The stun, it's actually holding no one in position. This Nova, it should be able to connect. It actually will do so. The Sly can't run away from this. Virtus Pro, they've lost 3. A terrible fight for them. After the back of that bottom engagement, they're looking for Solo. He's still on the run. S4's behind him. He has the Gem of True Sight. Now the Vision, the Sunstrike. Solo stops to heal. Actually saves it from the Sunstrike, but over into the tree line. S4, no Firefly available. So Solo needs some heavy jukes. Probably not going to be possible when he's sticky napalmed up. Movement is not the greatest friend when you're all gunked up.
And another lackluster RP. He got the Invoker, but the Invoker only, and the Invoker got instant force-staffed, and VP couldn't stay on the target, so...
He just bought back with no RP, so will the Ursa and No-Tail. Okay, OG, they're happy with this.
I don't think so. I think they're going to keep going. They're 5-3. There's no RP.
And there's no rock.
Oh, it's worth thinking about at
S4's
least.
got Lasso in 2 seconds time, so they have the initiation, and with Darpak being used by Slark Tornado, it catches him. S4 doesn't want to go that deep, however.
VP need to make sure they have this Empower running constantly.
They're picking Roshan, but he's not up. OGO moving back towards Roshan, but he's still got almost another minute, just under a minute, before he'll respawn.
OG took the full map control here, though. They have clearly better vision than VP because they kind of just team-wiped them and forced them back into base.
Oh, look at the swing at the graph. Like, we were always talking, like, the goal was a good one, but the experience graph was the critical thing we're pointing out. That has come a long way north for OG.
They have done a really good job at not positioning themselves for a good RP since that really big beat down next to the Roche pit last time.
Ramses finally has the counter to the Terrorblade, or at least part of it. He's picked up the Monkey King bar, so doesn't have to worry so much about that butterfly
No
on
buyback
Notel.
though. This is an all-in. He didn't use his. He gets caught now. It's dangerous.
And no one from VP has buyback. Everyone is out of money. Nice tornado. EMP just a little bit more delayed with a cold wall. No one, down to 1/3 of his mana.
He doesn't have buyback.
Oh, wait for it. S4, you can see him. He doesn't find his opening. The Sunstrike connects on Ramses. No one goes in. He sees an opportunity on Ana, but Ana gets pushed away. Four staff ever ready from S4. And they're coming over for Roshan now. The big man is up. They waited out the time. And there is nothing Virtus Pro can do about this. They're still defending their home. They'll get there too late.
They won't even try. They know that they have way too bad map control right now. And they can fight into an Aegis. It will, however, also be a cheese. But on VP's high ground, it's a lot easier to find an RP. And they even are able to engage without using RP. The Blink Skewer is also a threat. But OG, knowing OG, they're probably going to send some Terrorblade Illusions to hit these buildings. Try to set up for Batrider to get a catch.
And that's going to be making it very difficult for VP to get into the fight. The fact that Monkey King did actually complete up his Abyssal Blade, he's picked up a Ghost Scepter as well, so surviving inside of his Wukong command while dishing out all these mass bashes. The team fight has become a hell of a lot better for OG now, but you still do not count out Virtus Pro. They are a long way ahead. Yes, maybe for the first time in maybe 30 minutes, OG is possibly going to have the advantage in net worth as well as gold, but Virtus Pro have RP and power targets up that will just cleave through OG if they get caught. So it's OG that have to have the perfect positioning, and Virtus Pro that just have to wait for OG to come to them.
OG will be out farming them now though with this full map control. You mentioned the Monkey King Basher. He kind of has to be the target for VP in their next fights. You can't let this Wukong's command run into all of their melee cores. So it is tricky, and he can keep farming as well. As you said, VP can wait for OG to come to them. What if they don't want him? They can get 6 slotted. It's difficult for VP right now to get map control back. They can use this Aegis to farm OG if they want. If they don't feel comfortable going in high ground, it is a play for them.
I'm loving how OG, even though they're doing the farming, like you see that these, like it's a low cooldown, the Tornado, that was its level 25 upgrade, just keeps throwing it out, looking for EMP burns or Sunstrikes, just let them know they're there, and that EMP burns done a good job. Lil's actually completely out of mana with the lasso, picked up by S4, they'll easily kill off the Tusker. In fact, they know it so well that Ana is already looking for another kill. He won't find it, however, but Notel's ready to push. That's no Tusker for 65 more seconds.
The Illusion army of Notel is starting to go in and deal some damage here. Fatal Bonds will make quick work of it though. But still, this multi-lane push now coming from OG. They have the Forge Spirits bottom.
Ramses hunts Abyssal Blade. They're trying to clean up Ana again. S4 with a Flame Break. Tornado will fly up. A quick Yule Scepter. They need to get him out of here. The Aegis Immortal is still up at the RP. Connects beautifully from Pasha. Pull him back in. No one. It's time to nom 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 on OG. Will the damage be enough? Not with Notel. Summons the life back in again. Aegis Immortal will trigger. Pasha, he's ticking out at the moment. He will die. Another control. It's just too much control. No one. Spun up into the air once more. Comes down into the Sunstrike, and that will put him on the noggin. Solo, he's dragged out. Everyone's gone. GG! OG take game 1 in this grand final of Kiev.
Oh, what a Wukong's command to end it on, just to prove a point. Oh man, that spell is so... It's like soul crushing to just watch